welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are, game number 3, our final game of the day here, as we have Sync eSports versus Complexity here in this third and final game. Obviously tied at 1 game apiece. Complexity taking the first game, Sync eventually winning the second game. Thus how we got here. It's been a great series so far, and as expected, looking forward to finishing strong. Of course, I'm joined by Near once again as my co-caster here, and we are underway with the draft. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tundra, Wild Soul, Midas, and Hellbringer are the bands that come out this time around. A little bit different, but we have Behemoth first pick into that War Beast into Arachna. So worked out pretty well last game for Sync. They like it again here with the Arachna pick.
It's a bit funny because he had a really bad start. I think he was 0-4-2, got killed a lot, and still does well in the lane and wins the lane and has a huge team fight. What's it called? Impact. So still does well, and they try it again here. Of course, Behemoth is the first pick. They know that Complexity would probably pick it if they don't pick it here. So Zlapped has a plan with it, I guess, and the Formula sees the War Beast open, so he gets that one.
You know, there's one hero that comes to mind, actually, that just hit me that I don't even think he's been banned. I mean, maybe he was, but I mean, he's definitely not this one. Lord Salforus. He even got buffs in this last patch with his move speed being increased from 290 to 300. So I'm a little surprised. I haven't seen him yet.
I'm surprised that that hero got buffed.
Yeah,
so,
right.
In terms of the move speed, I was like, wait, what? Okay. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
I think, I mean, don't quote me on this. Obviously, I'm not the designer by any means. But from what I understand, I think the idea with all of those move speed changes is to kind of normalize, like, get a lot of similarities. Because it seems like they were, like, all over the place between a lot of these heroes. And it's trying to, like, get them all closer, essentially, in certain roles. So, but yeah, it happened to be a buff for Salforus, is what the result was.
I think like it was kind of like Polywalker without boots, or with boots was as fast as Blitz without boots. So it's kind of that thing here. Or close to, at least. But I'm not sure how it is right now, but at least Polywalker one of the ones with the least move speed in the game.
Well, we got the picks that are actually happening, and we had Andromeda then into that Prophet again. So Sync liking themselves Prophet lately.
Yeah. Last game he was involved in a lot of action early on, and that's, I think, where the hero shines. If you can come out ahead of early engagements and, you know, snowball from that point, it's going to be a really effective hero. This game they have the Behemoth, and I think Behemoth might be off lane, and Arachna could be mid or short lane. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if the hero will be as good as just that babysit hero. Of course, it's still going to be fine. The ultimate is going to be good, but will he keep up in levels and stuff like that? It's going to be, we'll have to wait and see if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah.
In a more passive game.
I see this final pick, well, third pick more so for Complexity, is taking a little bit, and they end up going with Moraxis here as that pickup instead. They like the Stunner Initiator here. He's seen action all 3 games, I believe, this series.
Yeah.
In general. So probably Fuzzy Sloth playing it, although Oscar is known to play it as well, so see what they end up here. Now into the bands to follow. Silhouette, the first one into Parasite. Again, a reminder, guys, this being the brackets here, we got the earlier series, BMG defeating Fresh 2-1. Thus, moving on to the brackets there. They're going to play the loser of this series tomorrow to kick it off. And then the final match tomorrow, of course, the grand finals. Winner of this plays the winner of that series down there, so on the line here, and again, we've been looking forward. I especially, you know, I had last weekend off, of course, on vacation. So, and now with this new patch and everything, I was really looking forward to coming back here this weekend and casting some Hon. And gotta say, I'm not disappointed. So, it's been fun here so far today. All right, so we got Ogi, Ophelia, Doctor, and now one more band. So, Zlapped prioritizing the carries here, figuring that Formula still needs his guy.
Yeah. Doesn't want to deal with Ogi as before, or Doctor. So he's banning out, you know, teamfight heroes and, you know, also the Silhouette, kind of the backdoor hero, with War Beasts, you know, that can be a little tough to deal with sometimes, so he chooses to get that out of the way. But then Doctor's a huge teamfight hero, so with huge catch potential, as we saw earlier today. Deadlift is the last ban, so surprised by that. I guess there's not really a lot of junglers left here. Formless has banned a lot of them, and now maybe force them into picking a support for Zlapped here, or a second support. Might be what he's trying to do. Solstice is up, and he has an history with that hero as well, so that's also an option. There we go.
Well,
that's also an option in the jungle, if he would chooses to. Can also solo lane, but it can get a ton of farm in the jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I really was surprised that we hadn't actually even heard about it this whole series, so sure enough, 4th picked here by Sync, and part of me almost wonders if that, I mean, there's no way it was just forgotten about by any means, but, well, Sync likes it here, as you mentioned, probably going to be in that jungle for Zlapped. So now we'll see, I mean, I guess Haxorn did play Arachna last game, so possibly could set up for that again. Okay, they go Tempest again, so they pretty similar here with Tempest more access.
I don't think I've seen Complexity run an offlane Warrior Beast in, like, ever. No. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do with this.
Yeah, that's what you got, obviously, is a name that you put with War Beast, one and one, so...
But worth noting on the Legion side, there's no Shrunken Head Ball Key Cancel right now. So Zlapped might be forced to going for one of those right now.
Yeah, that probably is. I wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of why they went to Tempest there. To make this last decision that much more difficult for Sync.
In last game, he found the huge ultimates. They just didn't have the damage. This game, they definitely have the damage. So expecting.
We'll see again. Now, I wonder, is Formless going to be the War Beast?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. Might happen. Still no Shrunken Head cancel, so that's probably gonna be his build this game. But it looks like a second support Behemoth or Magnus or the jungle Sulfur is for sure. But it's definitely interesting here. It's probably gonna be the jungle since doesn't have it yet, and they want a mind game. Or he picks it up now. Okay, lots of swaps. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yes, there is. Alright, the final pick, they're going through it. They don't have much time.
Yeah, Newerth is a good hero. Cancels the portal keys, and yeah, I like it. Even if it doesn't do too well early on, I mean, the lineup is just really strong against the Legion side lineup. I mean, the Legion heroes are kind of, a lot of strong heroes individually, but I'm not sure if it's the best combination of heroes in this game. I like Formless' draft more. Especially that Tempest pick and Newerth pick. Also 2 strong picks in this game. But they need to make a lot of aggression happen early on, just like last game. And work down, it bounced back and forth. So, and then again, last time I said that they were, like, I said some things last game that didn't come true.
Yeah.
That was the other way around. So we'll just have to wait and see here again.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what screams to me for Complexity. This is a very greedy lineup, so that could backfire for them if Sync is really active in the earlier phase, but if they're unable to address it enough, then most certainly Complexity can definitely break through here. Yeah. Look pretty good moving forward.
Oscar War Beast. I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it. Might be wrong, but it's just, I haven't seen it, so.
I'm with you.
It's interesting if they bring this dimension to their team.
Yeah. No, I don't think he really has history doing a whole lot of it, so we'll kind of gauge how he does here. Again, this being a very important match. This is to determine whether or not you go to the grand finals or you drop down to the losers bracket finals. And as we've talked about with any team, really, it's especially on that Sunday, the last thing you want to do is have to play a losers bracket finals and then go into another match. I mean, it's a lot of HoN that you're potentially playing. So nice to have that initial break on that Sunday. It's kind of what they're playing for at this point. But yeah, Zalforce almost said. Slap playing the Lord Zalforce here. See, I'm thinking of these item changes as well, and Lord Salforce a hero that potentially could use a couple of them. Like, I guess the Bloodborne Maul would be the one that maybe comes to mind as a possibility, but probably going to see actually more of a similar build to what we saw before.
I still think the tablet sheep is just so strong.
Yeah.
We might see that instead, or still see that.
Probably. Slap's not happy with the deadlift, man. Yep, complexity. They. Oh, that is true. He did get Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That actually would have been interesting to see deadlift. Damn them for banning it too. I wanted to see the new deadlift. He's not really new, obviously not. The ultimate's the thing that kind of got reworked a little bit, which is now kind of with the charges and everything. But, anyways, not saying it here, so.
Yep. The Love puts on the word of sight up top here. It's definitely not going to be countered, but we'll show them what's happening in the lane here and shows rotation running to the right side of the jungle. And they got spotted out up there by Oscar's Wolves, so they know where Sync is right now.
Yeah, you got Oscar, the hero himself. He's down here getting some information. He's got a ward of sight cutting through the trees. Hasn't placed it just yet.
It's also a pretty big deal that Serenia tries to get a counter ward over here, or a ward with the counter ward, and doesn't get it. I guess he's been doing some research, thinking, okay, he usually wards here in this and this scenario. Doesn't get it right now. So that's a bit unfortunate for him, but looks like they're going to do a duel in top and a solo mid and solo bottom. So this is interesting.
I had to really think what this Lord Salforce here, this pet that he has. I guess it's just it's an avatar like set effect or something. But I was like, wait, did he change? No, it's just it's all cosmetic there.
Yep.
Anything, but
looks like the Hellbringer thingy when you set it out.
That's what I almost thought it was for a second. I was like, wait a second, there's no Hellbringer here. But never mind. It is Salforce. But yeah, so he gets the pull off. You got that middle matchup now of Behemoth and Moraxis going at it. Back and forth battle here. Zibbe playing the Behemoth. The top lane should be the interesting one. Andromeda's running in, actually. Going to throw out a stun. No kill by any means, but going to let them know that he's there and not going to make it easy on them.
It secures a couple of creep kills for the Sandwave, but he has to be really careful. It's not the Hellborn side with the kill potential here, unless Tempest rotates, which he's not doing at the moment, so he needs to farm up a bit. Make sure his Q stuns twice.
Yeah. He's off to the side there. Prophet, though, again, we saw last game, especially with that Ravener partner. I mean, Prophet really potential to deal some good damage and amp that damage for the team. Middle lane Behemoth. He's fine. Oof.
It's close. That Warp Beast Howl, I mean, people forget about it, so...
True.
Was really close.
Yeah, that's those glowing red hands definitely having an effect here. Oscar, again, playing it as a Suicide War Beast. Very rare for this team, but what you got on his Tempest instead. They will have a good amount of push here.
Yep, that's for sure. Zlapped is rotating mid here, so it might be looking for a kill. Zipper has a stun. Zipper actually went level 2 heavyweight, no... Or I mean, level 2 enrage, no heavyweight. That's interesting. I think that's a kind of misclick, or a misclick. I hope so.
Yeah, that... I mean, obviously, the benefit of doing this, it gets you... Well, what would you think, not leveling up the Fissure or the Enrage?
I just think the Enrage is useless without the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Kinda, unless you want to last hit.
That's what
I
I was
guess
gonna
it helps
say.
helps you harass a little bit when Raxus runs at you with axes, I guess.
Yeah.
That might be his reasoning for doing it, so he has better sustain in the lane.
You see right there, he's kind of using it to line up an easier last hit on these creeps. Make it so.
I guess he's just really focusing on the wave here and just wants to last hit as much as possible.
Yeah, so if he's not planning to be active for a little bit longer here, then maybe it does make sense. But that's also then a question of, is that the best way to play Behemoth? So But again, Zibe, he's not afraid to be a little bit different from the norm.
Yep.
Doing that here once again. His skill build at least. The top lane, Sandwraith is being kept in check pretty well. He's not doing too well. Only 150 gold per minute here. But that'll happen against an Arachna Prophet.
Yep, it's a really tough lane. It's working here. It's not often you can say, oh yeah, the standard two-man off lane, that's gonna dominate for sure. That's usually not how it goes. So, but in this game you can, because it's a Sandwraith. So, works out very well for them. And they even have a jungling Sylphoris on top. Usually that's risky, more as it exposes the jungler. So.
Bottom lane. Gonna maybe go for a kill right here. Sylphoris coming out with the invis. Wow. Oscar. Yeah, I mean, obviously you just had no clue. That was just simply Sylphoris using that invis rune. Doing the bloodlust. Top lane, meanwhile, they're going for a turn kill on a Prophet. They should at least get that. So, gonna get something out of all this. But got bloodlusted.
Us without the elemental void. So now that Tempest is 6, they gotta be really careful up here with stepping, too far up, because now they have the lane control, so I really don't think they have too much business being here right now. It's really rough. I think Arachna has to rotate somewhere else, like either mid or... Yeah, he is. He's gonna go mid here and gets his farm here. But now we have this behemoth with level 2 enrage and level 3 vision. No heavyweight, so who is gonna not farm? That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder how he's gonna... make some adjustments there with that. He does get the Striders here on him, of course, but I'm gonna head to
his
the
fish
top
is
lane.
just as powerful, I would say, if he wants to gank and stuff like that. So that's still there, of course.
Yeah, 1.5 second stun, 225 magic damage. I was gonna say also you saw about a Homecoming Stone right there, and just a reminder on that, it's only 100 gold now for the Homecoming Stone. So he was able to purchase one, and that's just one of those things that you just know it just kind of has an impact throughout the game that it's kind of hard to explain almost, but as a player, you just know how big of a deal that is. Is it a block? Actually, it is, but
you can do that.
Q ability, so.
Never mind.
Sandwraith doesn't care.
Yeah.
He is fine. Middle lane, there's potential for action here. There's some counter warning going on, but Andromeda realizing that maybe that was for a fault right here. Behemoth running in. The fissure, it's not enough for the kill, though. As Mirage was used from Sandwraith, but not enough for a kill themselves. However, Prophet is going to be chased down, and finally they do end with something. Now, bottom tower pushed in the meantime, so Sync does get the counter there, despite losing their support.
Wait, when did Oscar die the second time?
I don't know. Wow, that's a good point.
Zlapped killed him solo, it looks like. So maybe he dove in behind the tower and he wasn't level 6. He's still level 5, so you can't really run away from this Sylphoris. You used the Undying too, I guess. So good pickup from him. I mean, Zlapped is doing what he can to be active right here. It's not usually what you see in a Sylphoris. Usually he just farms a lot and comes out with 500 GPM.
Yeah, no, I did not even catch that. Didn't mention that there, so.
I think it happened at the same time.
Yeah, it must have. And now he's back into the jungle, continuing to pick up that farm, and now 380 GPM, so. Again, he's obviously had a pretty high impact here. But man, look at Macera and Magnus. 475 gold per minute. Pushing on that bottom lane. He got the Bloodlust kill, if I'm not mistaken, so. He's obviously doing a lot of work here.
This is really a comfort hero for him. One of the top 3 he plays the best, in my opinion. Also plays really ballsy, as we see here.
Yeah, probably not worth that trade, but...
Yeah, Max is just running over now, so...
Uh-oh. Oh, he stuns in. He's going to go for the eruption. Now, yeah, I was going to say, that's never going to work, though. I don't know.
Nope.
No.
Okay, just as I say that, he does that. Come on.
I love it. Comfortable hero, doing really good. Oh, I must make a bad play now. They're watching me. Yeah.
God damn it.
Well.
He's still doing very well, but that's a huge kill for them, because 460 GPM, I mean, that's huge for him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we see Sandwraith getting back. I'm not even sure what happened there, but He got very low. That looks like the Undying was used, but not enough for the kill.
2 HP. Oh man.
Well, he lives, so that's good news for Complexity again.
Seems like whenever Zlapped makes a play, we just have to miss it. So.
Yeah, right. He's just doing it so much.
I'm not expecting it, honestly. I think he's triple stacking stuff. So triple stacking Ancient is going to find them, and then he has 500 GPM in the second here. Sad with Chief Stick coming out. Those kind of that's more the standards on Forest plays.
Warby's now moving over to the Ancients here. He's level 7 now, and obviously picked up a little bit. That assist right there helping. Going good for the Complexity. You got Tempest at 340 GPM now. Excuse me, has the Astrolabe here with the Blood Chalice as South Forest. No, yeah, he's just continuing to farm. Again, Samwraith is recovering. Of course, expecting that Mako Brilliance here.
He's 1-0-1, so it's looking pretty good for him. And they had to dodge or avoid the top lane after Tempest hit level 6. Wisely, they do so. And of course, that opens up the way for him, or the lane for him.
See, again, bottom lane, Magnus is going to start being boxed out now by these Hellhounds. That's obviously benefit. You get up hitting level 7 on Warbeast, get the level 4 Hellhounds, thus the Invis, and good damage for them as well. So, gonna help scare him off, get a bit of lane control here. Some last hitting. Magnus heading middle though. More Axis could be in trouble here. They're charging in. I think he knows something's up. Fuzzy Sloth gonna have to try to make a move. He did not get his Matrax up. He's gonna use it here. Is it enough? It's not. Just too little, too late. Samwraith the ulties, but he does not port in, as there was a little too much there. So
yeah. He put it onto Serenia there, got the kill on him. Prophet got a little too deep there.
He did. Okay.
So yeah. But a 1-for-1 in favor of Sync, and they're proceeding to try and push this tower here. So Force is very strong right now. You can just stand in the front, and I don't think they can really do anything on Hellpoint side without them or access at least.
Yeah, he's a big target to lose, of course. And I mean, yeah, you look at the top 3 farmers in the game right now, all belong to this Legion side here of Sync eSports. That's usually a good gauge that one team is in pretty good control early on, 11 minutes in. That is the case here now. The overall, it's nothing too drastic. 2,700 gold lead's pretty solid, but you see obviously Prophet kind of weighing that down a bit, but he's the main support, so not a huge deal there. About to pause coming out for Complexity, talking it over perhaps. What they need to adjust here.
Well, I don't think they have to adjust too much. Just keep the Warriors down here, keep him farming. Eventually he'll be able to push the tower down here and just sit there, and then, you know, wait for Sync to try and make a play, and then you counter-initiate. I think that's what you should do here. Try and work on the Portal Key Shrunken Head on Tempest, work on the Morg on Sandwave, and just take this to the late game. I mean, they have that no Portal Key stopper, so... Well, I mean, Shrunken Head, Portal Key stopper. They don't have that on the Legion side for Tempest, so...
Yeah, he's going to hope for some pretty big ultimates this game. And again, I don't like last game. He's got some pretty good potential for follow-up damage. That'll be sustained throughout as well between Warbeast, between Sandwraith especially. So it's potentially going to be a big game for what you got. At least they would like that from him, I'm sure, if you're Complexity here. Middle lane. More Axis again in some trouble. The Spider Sting is out. You see the slow man just doing a lot of work. And finally he's going to be destroyed, but still it's not enough right there. Too much damage in the end. Meanwhile, Magnus stuns in though. Tempest, he has the Elemental Void. You can tell the Legion team is scared because of that, but they're still going to commit to this, and that will be a kill in the end as soon as Lord South Forest came in. So kind of trickling in one by one was Complexity, and that ends up backfiring there.
Yeah. That's the aggression they have to make, I think. I mean, it's so hard to deal with the Mark Sandwave canceling any kind of initiation, and, you know, that Portal Key Shrunken Head hole that we talked about. If they manage to get that, of course. Also, first point's bottom, and Warbeast and Drow, that doesn't really scream kill lane to me.
Now, you know, I mean, Master, he's a fun guy. He's obviously a great player, but it seems like when I put the camera on him, man, he just makes some pretty Some poor place to say that. I mean, that right there, he actually stunned past Sandwraith, and he channeled his eruption. He was actually a good distance from Sandwraith when the eruption actually went off right there, and as a result, Sandwraith was able to go into the trees over here and actually survive with barely any life. So if he's on top of him like he probably should have been, then that was a kill, but yeah, a little too far, though.
Yep. So. Just had to say it was one of his top 3 heroes, didn't I?
Yeah, you rigged it. You rigged it. No, but again, you look back, though, obviously he's still doing fantastic here this game. 400-plus GPM. It's a very good farm that he's had here. So, did Self-Force buy something? He must have. What the hell did he buy?
I think he must have, yeah.
There we go. Ooh, Warhammer. Interesting. I guess a Shrunken? I mean, there's no way he's going to Shieldbreaker.
Oh, I don't hope so. It's probably the Shrunken Head. Very defensive, I would say. Yeah, alright.
Arachno, she's being pressured right here. Magma stunning through to kill or stop the Warbeast chase more so. Is successful with that. Nice block from Behemoth. Warbeast in that ulti form says, kill me, Kongor! And Kongor will oblige. Well played right there from Oscar. Making the best of it, at least.
Yep, good job from him. Getting the aggro there, getting killed by Kongor. Denies that gold. I think he might have also spent whatever gold he had before, so it's a good heads-up play.
And now they're... Well, it looks like they might have been thinking about pushing middle, but never mind. I mean, Warbeast obviously is staying dead throughout this time, but not enough to be grouping up and pushing a secondary tower, they don't think, at least, so... Gonna stay with the farm game for now, and this is just fine. 5,500 gold lead for them. But that goes back to we stressed at the beginning of this game. This is a greedy lineup here for complexity. This is almost expected to happen. The fact that Sync has an early lead was what you would expect, probably.
For sure. And it all still has potential to change drastically once they get the items they need. But it's not yet here. They need more time. Andromeda is really the one who's suffering the most from all this. No kills happening so far. He still doesn't have the boots of speed.
Got Behemoth getting back to base, gonna regen here. He's got that portal key, obviously. So big for Sync to see that on their team here with him and Magnus. Both having it. Again, Haxrin, it looks like he is going the Shrunken, just like last game. Now, again, they won it in the end, but it just seems so redundant, especially this Hellborn team. Why would you get Shrunken? I don't know. That just seems really odd to me. This is not a Shrunken team, I feel like. But
I guess you don't take damage from Sandwraith Mark. That's kind of it. So, or the Meteor, but I don't know either. It's weird. I guess when you go in and you pop it, you can't get counter-initiated on. I guess that might be his reasoning. But that's only from Raxus, so...
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, you can, yeah. It's like you can still use Swapped, you can still get Elemental Void locked in, like... So, it really is out of place right here, I think it's very safe to say, but... He, Haxrin likes it. Haxrin is a very experienced player, so...
Yep.
I would be interested to hear his logic on it, but...
I guess just guaranteeing he stays alive guarantees that he will get the farm he needs to carry the game. And if Shrunken Head helps him to do so, then,
More power to you.
Yeah.
More access. He, Oh, I thought he was getting his portal key, but yeah, I guess not. Only 260 GPM here. So yeah, it doesn't have it yet. He still needs to... Or does he?
I think he has it.
Okay, he does. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The courier was doing some funny things.
It's gonna help them a lot. Now they have their portal key initiation. They also have one on Tempest right now. So maybe they're gonna make a play with this. Magnus is being sneaky up here waiting for Sandwraith, so Sandwraith has to be really careful. He has intelligence steam boots. Oh, now their strength, okay. But else he can definitely kill the Sandwraith.
Oh, Sandwraith though pops ultimate, and now Magnus. The plan is foiled. Massera gonna be caught here, and he goes down. Obviously, that's just unfortunate timing for him. Behemoth, oh, you can tell Zebe wanted to go in right there. He is gonna eventually jump off to the side. The swap though from Andromeda on Sandwraith got him out of position, or away from the Legion team. You see Andromeda is gonna fall. Now, I will say Behemoth is being very patient right here, and he's waiting for that prime spot. He is going to stun Tempest. Tempest, the elemental void, but Behemoth's going to be able to stop that. No, he finally does. But the damage kind of already done, actually. Southforce goes down. Behemoth, he is going to fall. He did not shockwave first. If he jumped in and shockwaved, I don't know if it would have been much different right there, but that's a little surprising right there from Zibe. And now Prophet is very likely going to fall as well. As one more auto attack. There we go. It's a double tap for Formless, and Complexity comes out on top of that fight with a genocide.
Yeah. That's a nice response there. Really, like they dove really deep for that. Magnus was dead. He's really the hero they want to use to dive heroes, because he can just blink stun over and over and over. And he died right off the bat, so a little bit questionable for sure, going that deep, walking into an elemental void like that. It's not like he blinked in and shocked them or anything. He just pressed R right where he was. So, and I think the reason why Sibit, like his mindset was, he didn't want to solo ulti Tempest to cancel it, that he would rather press W. But that takes that extra 1 second, and that was what they needed to kill off those extra heroes. So
yeah,
maybe he should have just solo ulti the Tempest. I don't think it would have changed too much there, just because it took also really greedy dive for sure from Sync.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Watching the replay right there, it no doubt was a lot more delay because he chose a W, but I don't really think it would have been a huge difference there, as the dive was more so the decision from Sync that cost them that fight there. So good response, though, of course, from Complexity coming out, and you do see the mock now on Sandray, so this very greedy lineup of Complexity is now starting to kind of pay off a bit here. And that's where, if you're Sync, you're actually a little worried, I'm sure. You got Sandwraith, mentioned the mock, Warbeast, the Warhammer now to go with the Abyssal Steam Boots. Again, I would believe that is a Shrunken, but interesting seeing these Warhammer purchases first instead of the Mighty Blades. As Southforce did eventually finish his, though, as does Haxorin. So we are seeing the Shrunken heads popping up now.
Yeah. I'll say the hugest thing throughout all that, Sandrift didn't die and got 5 assists or kills on that. So he's 4-0-4 right now with the mark, almost 400 GPM. That's huge for Complexity. And Tempest is, when he has that shrunken head, I mean, that's where they're really strong and look for Complexity to try and force the fights. That's when they know they're comfortable enough. Also, I wanted to commentate earlier that Love is really one of those supports that loves to buy these voids and ref voids and really prioritize that. It's 20 minutes now. He only has 1 death and he still does not have his boots. So he really prioritizes anything else over boots.
He's bringing Nova back to the scene.
He definitely is. I mean, every time I play against him, he plays with so many ref voids. It's like, you don't have boots, why are you doing this? But it's working for them, they're winning. So
yeah,
it's definitely a valid strategy.
By the way, big kill obviously at the top lane. Formless goes down right there. It's a streak stopper, as we were just mentioning. 525 bonus goal from Asera. That was just him getting the catch initially, and then the team was pretty much all there to follow up. So important kill for Sync, as they slow down Formless again. At least a little bit there. Who now has a Mighty Blade, so again, speaking of Shrunken, he too even is going to be going for that. You talked about Tempest, Shrunken on him, actually going to go for Southforce, but he's able to pop a Shrunken first. And look at this turn chance now. Tempest, he has an Elemental Void, but there's no way he's going to be able to get a good chance off to use it. He goes down. Warbeast is also in trouble. Can he dodge another one here? Will he have to? Oh yeah, he definitely is going to have to. In fact, he's going to try to turn. No, he does dodge another one, and now Southforce in trouble. And Southforce goes down. Good bait coming out there for Complexity. The beautiful turn on their part. Magnus, he wants to go back in, though. It's both teams kind of playing the mind games right here. Who's going to go in? Magnus actually went a little too deep. He does not have mana for the Lava Surge. Here comes a block, though, from the Fissure Stun. And now the follow-up on a Moraxis. He's able to tank, though. Matrix being used there. You see Prophet chasing with that shared fate, but it's not going to matter. So these teams, man, are so fun to watch. It's just back and forth with not many dying, actually.
It's definitely very funny, but they dive a lot on Sync's side, and usually backfires for them. A nice sidestep from Oscar there, sidestepping 2 Qs and so forth. Of course, he is hasted, so it's not as hard as with normal move speed. But yeah, okay, blame UCs for sure. But it's unfortunate for Zlapped there. He died only because he got greedy and wanted that last Q to hit. So
yeah, he was really, really trying right there, but in the end, Sync doesn't work out for them. You do see by the way, Southforce does get an Ice Brand here. Interesting. I feel like we have been seeing a little bit of Ice Brand today. I guess the Frostwolf Skull, I guess they like it. I mean, from how much we've kind of been seeing it today, it seems like Frostwolf Skull is something that people like here.
I did watch it a bit last game, and it seems to have a decent impact with that AoE slow coming out. It's not too bad, so it's not just that heavy stat item anymore. You also have that effect to work with.
Well, he's gonna eventually be going for it here. Zibbe gets a glowstone, especially now that could be so many items, so I don't know really what to expect here with that glowstone, but I guess the icon, the no-stone, the spell sunder, or a staff.
Yes.
So.
Oh my god. There's still no staff effect for Behemoth, right?
There is no staff effect, so it's not going to be a staff. Probably not spell sunder. That's not an item we really see. Oh, Magnus also gets a glowstone. Now, I want to say, was it Sarah that recently went the staff on Magnus? Somebody
nope, it was Zibbe.
It was Zibbe? Okay.
Yep, I remember it. Yeah, I think I'll just stop commenting on Zibbe's items and just let him do his thing, because, yeah.
If
it's
Magnus...
almost the same as Tiltuk buying Shroud, so...
Oh, yeah, right. No, I mean, again, I don't think he's going for staff. Obviously, there literally is no purpose, but Magnus at least has a staff effect, but I think it's pretty clear that it seems like it's very not worth it. You're better off investing that gold elsewhere, so I'm curious to see what Magnus does turn into. With
yeah,
glowstone.
what else can you use glowstone for? You said staff, right?
So staff was the one, but it's also spell sunder, nullstone, or
oh, he's going for nullstone. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the sand wave. Okay, it
so
makes a little sense now. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You were worried there.
Yep, I was worried.
Okay, so yeah, nullstone, that seems pretty practical. Yeah, I guess with sand wraith.
Makes a lot more sense. It's my bad. Just forgot that you had to use that in nullstone now.
Pause here for complexity. Again, continues to be a very close game. Teams know how important this is. To win this, you go to the grand finals. Lose this, you have to then go through BMG to get back to the grand finals, and then play the grand finals after, if you happen to defeat them. So it's a bit of a grind setup for tomorrow. If you lose this matchup, well, teams, safe to say, want to win, especially complexity. I think, again, they kind of have that a little bit more where if they could avoid playing the earlier match, they like that, because especially for some of their players, they're looking at like 9 a.m. in the morning, which any gamer would tell you that's too early. That's too early, so they especially want this victory here. Not having to wake up early to play some Hon. Shieldbreaker again on Haxron, by the way.
Yeah, I think he just likes this build. That must be it. He's been testing out some stuff, and this is what he's comfortable with.
Yeah, if we had to like make a list of things that we're kind of learning today so far of the patch and the impact, I think one of the obvious ones is that Shieldbreaker is clearly an item that people like.
Yeah.
Frostwolf Skull is definitely something that people are trying at least. So those are a couple that come to mind at least.
And it seems like people might be a little bit unaware of what they actually want to go for, so a lot of people are just default buying Strongnet. Seems prematurely.
It's like, this item's the same, so let's just go this.
Yeah. I'll need it eventually, but yeah. And this time Prophet actually scaling up the Invigorate. I like it compared to last time where he maxed out the E. So now he's going W before. I think it's a lot more useful. Just those extra attack you get, it's a lot of attack speed, and you need to get over that hump where it says only 2. You need to get level 3, level 4, and that's where it really shines. It's actually a lot of attack damage as well as heal, so putting that on Ragnar just kills the hero really quickly.
He is obviously listening to the cast.
Yeah, there. Voice.
While we're in this pause here, kind of a side thing, something that we're not going to see because he's out of tournament rules, but a hero, you being a supporters player yourself, I wonder, Artesia got that bit of a rework. Have you had the chance to play Artesia?
Yeah, I had. I actually played in more the solo mid, kind of, and it's a lot stronger early on, but as soon as you hit about 18-20 minute mark, the hero really is just not doing much but anything. It's not that effective at all.
Did you try playing it as a supportish, or were you playing it more as the...
I played it carry, kind of.
Okay.
So but that's not what you should do. But I think support, you might have a lot more damage early on, where you can definitely zone heroes for sure.
Yeah.
You can also assist in ganks. The Q is a lot easier to hit. It almost hits every single time, and it's much more. Yeah, it's way better to use. It feels better. But at the same time, if you get late game with that hero, it's not doing much for you because it can heal you, but it's basically
it's
basically handing out free health pots every 4 seconds or something. So that's what it's doing, I think.
It's so I will say I actually played a couple of games of TMM as like a true support Artesia, and yeah, I mean I like the idea that they're going for, but yeah, I will say it is a little underwhelming, and I think that's kind of what you're getting at too. It feels very, even the heal idea. The heals are, I have to sit there spamming Q over and over and over and over again on somebody to like slowly heal them up. So yeah, we'll see how it kind of develops, but yeah, that's kind of my first reaction to it as well.
I liked it early on. I was like, oh, this heals so much better now. And but then as soon as you get a little bit later on, it's just not the same.
Sandwraith, he's just scouting with it right there, it looks like. Yeah, sees them all over there. So Mirage is going to be on cooldown now. Obviously, the Sync is very aware of that. But Morax is up here. He knows something's up. He's going to teleport back. Not going to risk sticking around. How is that shrunken on Tempest? I think he might have the Warhammer as well, honestly. So I think he just needs the pattern, which is 200 gold here.
Yeah.
And he'll have that to work with, as you've been stressing here, and no stopper on the Legion side. So that's going to be important for them to use. And they're kind of grouping up as if they may make a play the bottom lane. You see Behemoth is already here set up. Now, they're not all here by any means. In fact, Warby's the only one here. He's going to be jumped by Behemoth. TP's coming in. There's the follow-up, and down goes Warby. So, successful stop there. And actually, Andromeda, he's got a little curious what was going on over here, and he also will fall. So, ends up being 2 kills. No, they didn't counter-push the middle lane, but I think Sync is happy with that trade.
Yep, sure. This is way better for them. Lexus tries to, counter push again here, but in this game they're able to catch them and get some hero kills, and they don't even lose the tower. So a way better situation for them in this game compared to last game. So it's looking good for them. Still, the late game is definitely in favor of complexity, so they have to be careful with not getting too comfortable, just farming away and prolonging this for too long. But a nice sequence of events there for them, for sure.
27 minutes in. It honestly feels like it's been a little bit longer with this game, but yeah, it's 27 minutes in and good. So kind of that mid-game phase right here. But we do see the Nullstone starting to be finished here. Magnus does get his picked up, as we were talking about there. So yeah, again, with that new component now of the Glowstone, caught off guard a little bit when it was first picked up, but does make sense when you really look at it here. That Sandwraith, good to have it against him. So being able to use that portal key ideally. More Axis? Is he going? They are. I was going to say, he doesn't have anyone up here. Well, now he does. Sandwraith, he's good at that. They take out Behemoth.
Yep.
Quick kill.
It's a good kill. I mean, if they can make sure that Behemoth does not get that Nullstone, it's way harder for him to do something in the fights. And they get a little bit ahead of from that, so good gank.
South Forest does have the Frost of Skull. He's continuing to farm like a beast here, 460 gold per minute, make that 475 as he clears all those ancients right there. So, God, he's. I mean, he definitely built different than you mentioned. The tablet, the sheep stick, probably would expect to see the same even. But now again, Zlapped, I don't know how much he's kind of played this. We haven't really seen him play it a lot, I feel like, but he likes this style instead. Guess a little more combat style. You can fight.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, I'm not too sure what is actually the best. I think this gives him more stats. He's harder to kill. Compared to having a sheep stick, sounds stupid to say he's glass cannon. He's a forest, but he's harder to kill now.
For me too, it's I'm looking at this Legion team, and especially seeing the Nullstones that are already purchased on Magnus. We mentioned Behemoth, very likely going that as well. They don't have that tablet, the Hellflower, the Sheepstick especially. So that's where I am a little uncertain of him going this build. I think that's where you could argue that, you know, maybe it would have been better to go more the typical, if anything, the Sheepstick to follow the Shrunken, but...
I'm a little surprised that they don't have any kind of teamfight items, any of them. They're all going individually, or individual items, kinda. Shrunken Heads, Shieldbreaker, Nullstones, so... But again, I think it's kinda what they have too. I think the only one who could buy teamfight items would be Zlapped here, but he's also going for this more selfish kind of build, so... It might hurt them a bit as we go later on, but if the game goes long enough, I mean, then, you know, +2 armor is not that much, so... Or +3 or whatever you can get.
Sandwraith, Healties, yep, they do find a kill. They found one on Arachna right there. Mirax is there to follow it up and saw part of the team doing Ancients and realized that all of a sudden their Arachna gets jumped and killed, so big find onto him. He has that snake bracelet as we see. So he's trying to build into that wing bow, but obviously getting caught there, and now this is going to open up Kongor for complexity. You see the Shieldbreaker on Warbeast now, so again, goes back to this clearly is a item that players and teams are liking here. Going forward. They're going to be downing Kongor. A very safe guess would be Sandwraith getting the token here.
Yep.
He is going the Restless Stone, it looks like, too. And by the way, that's the standard picked up, of course. So yeah, they have 4 Shrunken Heads now. Andromeda the only one with that one, but probably not going to see it on her, of course. But a very surviving team here on the Hellborn side with those Shrunken Heads. Now, Arachna is really all physical, so he's not, I guess, too concerned about that, but it will prevent them from being locked down by the Behemoth, by the Magnus, which ideally will prevent Arachna from just sitting there putting an auto attack. So obviously the Shrunken Heads are going to still be very viable here for them.
Yeah, definitely. Behemoth does finish off the Nullstone now. So something like a Restoration Stone for Sandwraith is definitely looking more appealing now.
Yeah. He's getting there. Got the Arcana now. So just needs that pattern and we'll be good to go here. Gonna ulti again. He's probably just scouting with this one. No, he is porting in. He did port in over here. The Undying is a look at the turn. Sandwraith is definitely falling here. It's just a matter of how much do they get out of this. Lord Self-Force goes down. Sandwraith, he is gonna go down, but again, he had the token, so he comes back up. Arachna got caught in the midst of it. Behemoth will kind of with the Magnus Eruption, doing a lot of work right there, but Arachna, again, unable to do much because she was running the whole time. Quad kill for Formless. Are we actually going to see an annihilation right here? Very possible. As Magnus is hiding in the Steam Bath, he's going to try to prevent it. Look at that. The axe is still hitting him. He finally saw that as more axes goes in. The timing couldn't have been any more perfect for Masera. But big picture, clearly a victory for Complexity here in that fight.
A little bit of a panic eruption in Shockwave jump because there was 3 heroes chasing, but 2 of them had Shrunken Head activated. So the eruption only did damage to 1, and then he managed to stun 2 heroes after that. And the Shockwave, I mean, it does damage, but it doesn't stun. So I think if they were patient, Arachna would have probably died, but I think they could have turned after that if they waited. So
there we go. The Rack's getting destroyed. So yeah, perhaps getting a little too antsy.
Also, Zlapped never used his Shrunken Head when he was diving Sandwraith there. If he used that, I think he would have survived the Elemental Void and possibly killed the Sandwraith there, but that didn't happen. Or, I mean, Sandwraith did die, but it would have been a way better fight for them, but he never used it, so that's unfortunate. He has to use that every time you go in like that.
Yeah, it's one of those fine line cases. It's understandable. They usually like to wait for like a reactionary use, but yeah, when a fight is starting to break out like that, you can argue it's just best to use it going into it, knowing that it lasts 10 seconds. So.
And Tempest has 3,000 gold, so he almost has a Restoration Stone as well here. And those souls are not going to be cancelled by anything, so he has free reign to hold whoever he wants to. And that's a perfect Tempest game here.
Yep, what you got's like in this game. Some games you hate as a Tempest, other games you love, and this is definitely one of the loving ones for what you got, I'm sure. 1, 3, and 10. Guess not the sexiest stat line there, but he's doing work nonetheless, and he's just got post haste actually, which he uses that gold on there. So we'll see him now being a little more freely able to move around the map here. As South Forest has another 2,300 gold saved up. Again, you see the hacks ran. He's still trying to work on that wing bow and finish it. He went the snake bracelet as we talked about. So it gets a little bit of that defensive mechanism in there as Andromeda. Okay, she's going to port out. Nope, never mind. She's staying her ground, actually. Oh, man.
I want to go.
That was close right there. Sandwraith is going to actually go in, though, and chase. Out comes the Spider Sting. There's a swap, though, from Andromeda. Looking to go back in, but again, the Spider Sting, they need to kill that. They will kill it. It looks like a second ultimate from Sandwraith is ready. He is going to use it right here. And he's going to be fine. Arachna will go down. Magma's picked off. South Forest, he's in trouble now. Locked down. That's the GG. Game 3 in the series goes to Complexity. They're going to the grand finals where they will await the winner of BMG versus now Sync eSports tomorrow. So, oh, that was a quick finish right there that we had. But
yeah,
in the end, Complexity are victorious. Come through.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it 5 times or something, but it's just that Tempest factor. They had no cancel, no stop for it, and I think that ultimately won them the game and why they CC'd right there. Like they couldn't do anything against that. And, yeah, and they could never initiate with Magnus or Behemoth. If they're not the ones initiating and finding the openings before Sandwraith uses ulti, I mean they're not gonna